Thank you all so much for your talks this week. My question is specifically for Joe. Slide over so I can see. Maybe I don't understand it correctly, but initially I think I respectfully disagree where you said a historically Christian culture has never existed. So in my understanding, Romans 11 says there's always a remnant, right? And that implies a smaller number. It's not as many that are saved, right? So throughout history, there have always been Christian carpenters, Christian musicians, Christian composers, Christian businessmen. And they've always been a remnant just because there's not as many believers in the society at large. Just even Dr. Sandlin said, even in the near the end of the book, near to the second coming or the return of Christ, he would say, not everyone's going to be saved, but maybe a lot of people. So hasn't there been Christian culture because there have been Christians being faithful as a remnant in their respective cultural fields?
Yeah. Good, sure. So I think we just have to, we don't want to use the word culture equivocally. So the way I was using it this evening in saying that there's never been a historically realized Christian culture, I was talking about civilization. So when I think back to medieval civilization, Christendom, it was a synthesis culture. It was deeply influenced and shaped by Christian truth, no question about it. And of course, there are always Christian families, Christian artists, Christian schools that we could say, well, there's a microculture. There is faithfulness to the Lord. What I'm saying is I don't think you can point to any country, Byzantium, Geneva, Knox's Scotland, Puritan England. I think you can look at the early colonial period in the United States. I think you can point to them and say they were more Christian than we are today. They were more Christianized, but I don't think that we have yet seen a consistently worked out culture in the broad sense, right? Where we could say that culture, the culture of Canada, is Christian. The culture of England is Christian. So I'm saying that just as much as Andrew alluded earlier today to saying that he feels we're in the infancy of the church, I tend to agree with that. I like what Doug Wilson says about that. He thinks we're part of the latter part of the early church. Now, there may be different eschatological opinions on that, that's fine. But I would still say that the historically yet to be realized is a consistently Christian culture in the broad sense. I'm not denying that a family or a business or individuals can be faithful to the Lord. God always preserves for himself a remnant, and that's what he works with. The prophets are always saying that there's a stump, there's a root. He always preserves for himself a remnant with which to build.